Hello everyone, today I'm going to be teaching you some math so that you can get your bullets to align if your object or your player does not move. To show you what I'm talking about, we have my game here, and we'll go into the classic mode. So when this object is moving, I'm just changing the image angle, and the player does not actually move. When I'm moving like this is everything around me is moving, but the player itself is not moving. And this kind of gives the whoever is playing the sense of an infinite environment. Like if I keep going this way, it doesn't end, it will just keep on going. And so calculating the angles for the bullet spawn can be a little bit difficult in GameMaker. There's no real easy way to do it. So I'm going to show you guys a great way to align your bullets and an in-depth explanation. Alright, so by now in game development, in this stage of your game, I'm assuming that you already have the ship down, you already have some very, very basic elements down, as this is a little bit more of an advanced and would be later in the game that you'd be doing this. So I'm going to put all the variables in the step event. It's entirely optional if you put them in the create or step event. I prefer it in the step event for this instance because the variables are not changing throughout the course of the game. They'll be staying the same. So, and it makes it easier for me to read my own code. So to start off, we're going to set our X origin. And this will just be a normal variable. So this is just going to be where our X is spawning. And we're going to do the same for Y origin. For me, it's 512 because my room is 124, or 1024 by 1024. Now, if you want to get really technical, you can do like a room width, and then divide that by 2. But personally, I just prefer this. It keeps my code a little bit more simple. And so you're gonna basically, if your character is in the middle of the room, it's gonna be, for me, for example, again, 1024, and then the 512. So you just want to find where the origins of your character are. So next we're going to be setting the cosine and sine. So cosine is already a variable in GameMaker, so you can't use that. So we're just going to use C in place of that. So we're going to type dcos, which is basically degree cosine, and then image angle. And so this is basically getting the cosine of the image angle. So if my ship is pointing over here, over here, over here, we're going to do the same for sine so that we can get full 360 degrees on our object, no matter the image angle. And then we're also going to set the X offset to 0 for my game. And we're going to set the Y offset to -100. Now this took some testing. And this is basically how far up and to the right your bullet might be spawning away from your X origin. So your origin you need to set as the actual center of your player, and then the bullets are where the bullets are spawning. So for me, if we're looking at the ship kind of sprite, right, the origin is right here, but we need the bullets to spawn up here, so that's why it's -100. So now we're going to kind of put all of this math together. I just closed it. I also have it in the create event, just as kind of a check, and that's entirely optional. So now we're going to add it all together. We're going to put all the math together. So we're going to have final x equal to x origin plus the cosine times the x offset plus the sine that we set, and times the y offset. And then we're going to basically do the opposite for the final y. So final y equals y origin plus negative sine times x offset plus our cosine times y offset. So this is essentially, it's making sure that we have the full 360 degrees for both the X and the Y, so that our bullets are spawning correctly. And so we're going to go down and we're going to place it here instead of the 0, 0. So this is for bullets, but it would work for any projectile that you have. We're going to replace this with the final X, and then we're going to replace this one with the final Y. So this is essentially just adding in our final x's and final y's. You can change the variable names to whatever you have, but make sure it follows this same format. If you would like to have a sort of check in place so that the game isn't messing it up, you can also add it to the create event if you're having issues in the step event, or if you have a lot of other things going on in the step event. I just have it in both just to keep it simple for me, and I can easily read these. So after you have all that, your ship should be moving, or your character should be stationary, and the bullets will be moving easily around them. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, let me know. All this code is going to be in the description, so check that out. I also have a Discord and I have a Twitter. Both of those are great ways to contact me if you have any questions about anything. In the future, I'll be going over other sort of difficult and tricky solutions to code that might not be standard on GameMaker or might not be found elsewhere. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.